What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we are for NXT review for Wednesday night episode of NXT. This is the go-home show to NXT Takeover Portland, where both men and women's championships will be on the line. The North American Championship and the tag team titles will be on the line. Plus two, not one, but two grudge matches. Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano and Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. So we have 6 matches. Usually NXT is tapped and takeovers are tapped at 5. But I'll let it slide this time because these 2 matches have warranted it. Now, the main event of this episode of NXT was Kushida versus Adam Cole because of what happened last week with Adam Cole putting Kushida through a box. And I'll get my thoughts on Kushida when we get to the end of the show. This show starts off the way this show starts off continuation of what happened last week when the Velveteen Dream made his return. And he tore off his pants to see another set of tights that had Dream, Marina Shafir, and their son on his tights. So Roderick Strong comes out to the ring, pissed as fuck. He is just serious. He doesn't give a fuck. At this moment, he doesn't care about wrestling. He doesn't care about the Undisputed Era. He doesn't care about anything but getting revenge on the Velveteen Dream. He's pissed that Dream had his son and his wife on his tights. Wants his ass now. He wants a fight. He says this is about he and Dream and how he put Strong's wife and son on his gear. Says that was so disrespectful. He should have known it wouldn't take long for Dream to cross the line and make it personal. Strong says he will hurt Dream and do something he will not regret. He demands an apology and fans boo. And out comes Bronson Reed instead. Reed says you're not the only. Dream's not the only one you have a problem with. What happened last week, if you remember. Bronson Reed got knocked out during the backstage portion of the Undisputed Era looking for Tommaso Ciampa after they put Kushida through a box. So we have a match, Roderick Strong versus Bronson Reed, and this had got to be the best match Bronson Reed has ever had in NXT. Quite honestly, Bronson Reed, since the Breakout Tournament, really hasn't done anything special. He's had matches here and there, and it's just like nothing he's done really has been anything like we're talking about, but Roderick Strong does what Roderick Strong does best. He goes out there and makes lessers look like $1 million fucking bucks, and he made Bronson Reed look like $1 million fucking bucks. Bronson Reed gets to show off his power and strength of Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong doing everything he can to fight this guy back to this guy. They trade shots, middle of the ring. Reed continues to shut down Roderick Strong's comebacks. Strong drops to his knee towards the end of his knee pad and looks to go back into put Reed away, but the Velveteen Dream's music entrance looks to start up, but as the lights go low, the music doesn't hit, but Dream's presence is definitely there. Strong is distracted at ringside. He turns around to Reed hitting a big suicide dive on the floor. Reed brings Strong back and goes to the top for the frog splash. Strong catches Reed on the way down with a big knee strike. Strong cover 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong defeats Bronson Reed. After the match, Dream appears on the big screen and says he's standing backwards with a jacket on and has his homage to Hollywood Hogan version of Velveteen Dream on his jacket. He brings up his wife Marina Shafir and shows the Call Me Marina tights from last week. Goes on about how Strong took something for him. Strong may have lost the North American title, but that's all fine and good right now. He still has a family. We see photos of Strong's wife and son on the big screen. Dream wonders what would happen if something happened to Strong. Dream promises that if something did happen to Strong, someone somewhere would make sure your wife's dream, all of her dreams, were fulfilled. Dream shows us how he has Strong's family painted on his tights again. This pisses Strong off completely. This dude is incensed. He runs to the back, and that was that. So, Velveteen Dream getting in the head of Roderick Strong. Now, people were wondering, because the Dream's return last week and the fact that Takeover was this Sunday, that we could see the Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong, and that's not going to happen. That is actually going to be happening next Wednesday on NXT television. I don't think the match should actually happen next week. What I think they should do is next week they have Dream come out as if he's coming for the match, and then Roderick Strong in such a fury comes out, beats the hell out of him, and we continue to hold this off until we get to Tampa. This should be the Takeover Tampa grudge, one of the Takeover Tampas, if the only Takeover Tampa grudge match that we have. This screams Takeover. This does not scream NXT television, but the fact that we have 6 matches at Takeover Portland, we don't need anymore. This one, hopefully next week, this is not actually going to be a match. Roderick Strong comes out, he beats the hell out of Dream, big brawl, the match never happens, and we just continue to hold it off. Regal says, okay, in 2 weeks we're going to have this match, and then we just keep going until we get to Portland. I mean, not to Portland, but to Tampa. The announcers then type the show. Matt and they show us the cruiserweights with the 2020 Dusty Cup. Then says they can't take the cup on the plane to get to Takeover Portland, and asks Matt Riddle how they're going to get there. Riddle is thrilled to take it and says, road trip, bro. We see footage from the road trip in a Ford Mustang, but halfway through they switch over, which of course you would do if there's 2 people and you're going on a road trip. Unfortunately, Pete Dunne's from the UK, and in the UK they don't ride on the right side of the road, they go left. So he's driving like he would on the regular side of the road. They almost have a collision, and they stop. Matt Riddle is like chastising him, and is like, "Oh, we're gonna be fine and everything." And then, and Matt Riddle is freaking out. This dude is freaking out. He's like 10 and 2, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. He's like, he's looking around, and it literally looks like he's trying to make sure he has no weed in the car. Says, I'm going to do all the talking. And then we don't know what happens with the cop. Next thing you know, the car is getting towed away, and Pete Dunne saying, that's the last time you do all the talking. They need to regroup and figure out how they're going to get there. To be continued, it says. Kathy Keller's backstage with Angel Garza. She's talking about tonight's number 1 contenders match. Leo Rush interrupts and says he can't stop thinking about losing his cruiserweight title, and he's hungrier and better now. Whether Garza likes it or not, he's getting his title back, and he walks off as Garza mocks him. So that is going to be a match later on. The winner will be taking on Jordan Devlin at a later date. It has not been confirmed as far as I know. Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai. This is a continuation and a warm-up match for Dakota Kai going into her match at TakeOver. Candice LeRae comes out first, then Dakota Kai is out. They have some back and forth early on. LeRae sends Kai to the floor and they nails the suicide dive. She nails a ton of these. Back just keeps on hitting them and hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. I swear she hit at least 4 or 5 suicide dives to the outside. Candice LeRae was just making sure she could make Dakota Kai pay for everything that Dakota Kai has done since TakeOver War Games. So they're having this match. It's going back and forth. LeRae got busted open somewhere with a kick. She's bleeding from the nose. Kai works her over on the apron. Kai keeps controlling yanks LeRae into the top of the ring, shoulder first. LeRae falls to the floor, clutching her shoulder. We get towards the end of the match. LeRae pulls her back away from the ropes, Kai away from the rope, but Kai pulls LeRae over the top, out of nowhere, rolling her up for the 1, 2, 3. Kind of a weak finish, but I see why they wanted to do that. After the match, Kai goes to the floor to celebrate with an exit. LeRae is shocked. LeRae follows Kai around the ring and sends her face first into the ring post. Kai then grabs the timekeeper's bell and drives it into LeRae, sending her down. Tegan Knox then comes out of nowhere, dropping Kai and mounting her with some strikes. Security and officials run down to break the fight up. Knox runs up the ramp and tackles Kai on the stage and they pull him apart again. These 2 women are going to tear each other apart on Sunday. I cannot wait for this match. Hope these guys get a significant amount of time, with them being 6 matches, and we usually don't go more than 2.5 hours. I think we're going to go 3 hours this time. I hope they get at least 15 to 20 minutes for this match, and these girls can go out there and beat the living piss out of each other. The announcer shows footage of Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes arguing backstage at Sunday's live event in Riverside, California. William Regal has made a match official, but he's coming up next. So we go from house shows not meaning a thing to now having matches set up at house shows. Okay, Regal? So we have Gargano and Cameron Grimes. This was an okay match. Still not sold on Cameron Grimes. I don't know what it is. It just seems like Since NXT moved to the USA Network, I've noticed a lot of this for a lot of guys, and it might have been easier to hide at 1 hour, but there are a lot of guys on this brand that have zero direction. They have zero direction. We don't know what Cameron Grimes is doing. It looked like this guy was going to be, since Jordan Miles went off and did what he did and decided to be the boy who cried racism. Cameron Grimes, I thought, was going to be someone they would know what to do with. Since the breakout tournament, he's got a vest and a hat and some Carney-type music, and that's about it. They haven't done anything with him. It looked like they were doing something for a minute, and then they stopped doing it. What are they doing? What is Cameron Grimes? Who is Cameron Grimes? Why should we care about Cameron Grimes? I still want to know. But Grimes counters with a big kick to the head towards the end of the match, back and forth until Gargano counters and drops Grimes into Gargano escape for a quick tap out. Back from the break, and Gargano's using kicks as we go to replays. Gargano speaks to the camera and has a few words for Finn Balor, hoping he's watching ahead of the Takeover Portland match on Sunday. Kathy Kelly is backstage with NXT champion Adam Cole. Roderick Strong is also there, pacing around because he's upset. Cole says he will teach a lesson to Kushida tonight and then teach a 1-2 to Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver. Says his life is the NXT title, and he talks more about being champion, and Ciampa then dismisses her. We get another segment for the Dusty Cup winners with the Dusty Trophy. Says they need to figure out how to get their things to Portland done. Is a bit frustrated or maybe just disappointed. Riddle has an idea. Late to be continued, it says, and we go back to commercial break. Back from break, and we see Robert Stone in the meeting room somewhere. He addresses Kaden Carter and her recent win over Chelsea Green, saying she won't be so lucky again. Green goes on and says there will be a rematch next week, but not just a rematch. There will be a relaunch of the Robert Stone brand. Green appears and it says not just that, we will also see the resurgence of the NXT's best superstar next week. So this Robert Stone brand started a couple weeks ago, and now they're already doing a quote-unquote relaunch. Isn't that a little overdoing it? Isn't that a bad thing? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. That just seems like that just has bad written all over it. Nigel confirms Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream for next Wednesday, and then we go into Leo Rush versus Angel Garza, #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. This was fantastic. These two work so well together. I think Angel Garza can work with anybody. Honestly, I think he can work with just about anybody. This guy has superstar written all over him. Unfortunately, he's been called up to the main roster to fill in for Andrade. Once Andrade returns, if they keep him on the main roster, what is Angel Garza going to do? He's probably going to get set to catering for us to never see him again outside of a loss here and there. I can't even get into this match, just how good these guys do, but Rush goes for the final hour. Garza gets his knees up. Rush kicks out at 2. Garza comes right back with a super kick. They tangle for a few seconds in the middle of the ring. Garza goes for the wing clipper. Rush rolls him up out of nowhere for the pin in the win. Gee, that finish looks familiar. You had this in the Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae match. Quick roll-up finishes like pins out of nowhere. Why do we have to see repetition on these shows? That feels like a Vince McMahon thing right there. Vince McMahon has his teeth sunk into NXT, and we see repetition on a weekly basis, it feels like. You have a finish that happened at the beginning of the show, or the middle of the show, and then like 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, it happens again when it comes to the finish. And it's something we don't need to see. After the match, he celebrates. Rush heads to the stage opposed, but out comes Jordan Devlin. Devlin congratulates Rush and reveals that the title match will happen next Wednesday. They face off, and Devlin says Rush will just become the next stop on the Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight title tour. So next thing, let's review. We have the Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong. We have Kaden Carter versus Chelsea Green. And now we have a Cruiserweight Championship match. Do you think they're trying to run up AEW on their next episode, which has a cage match on it? Gee, like Vince McMahon wants to say that AEW hasn't had an effect on WWE at all. Give me a fucking break. The announcers announced that NXT North American Champion Keith Lee will be on FS1 next week's episode backstage. That leads us to a video package on the TakeOver Portland title match between Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee. It's narrated by Hall of Famer Mark Henry, who previews the match and praises both men. B, who do you think's winning that North American title match on Sunday? If you have Keith Lee on backstage this coming Tuesday, why would you have him lose the title? Bianca Belair versus Santana Garrett. This sucks. Santana Garrett's misused. I know she's brand new to the Performance Center. She's been 10 plus years in the business, I read somewhere, and she gets squashed in no time. Slam by Belair. KOD. 1, 2, 3. Damn shame for Santana Garrett. Belair stands tall as the music hits. She's not happy with women. She takes the mic and is not happy with Women's Champion Rhea Ripley going to Raw to confront Charlotte and wrestle Sarah Logan, acting like Belair doesn't exist and like they don't have a match at Takeover Portland. Belair issues a warning on Ripley about Sunday's title match, but music interrupts, and out comes Ripley to the ring. Ripley takes the mic and promises he's not looking past Belair, he's looking right at her. And at Takeover on Sunday, she's going to run right through Belair. Swings, but Ripley dodges it. Belair continues and drops Ripley with the KOD in the middle of the ring. She stands over Ripley, dances and swings her hair around and uses kicks, and the announcers hype the match. So, who do you think's going to win on Sunday? Obviously, we know who's going to WrestleMania, and it's not going to be Bianca Belair, unless they do a triple threat match, which I am not for. The Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title were in a triple threat match last year. We don't need a back-to-back here for the Raw Women's Championship in a triple threat match. We get another look at the cruiserweights trying to get the Dusty Classic trophy in Portland. Riddle has a bright idea for sneaking in. He gets us to a private jet. There's a private jet sitting there. He's like, this is for us. And he's wanting Pete Dunne to help him get the trophy into a compartment for the plane, for this private jet. And as they're getting in there, he's looking around. He shoves the trophy in there, gets in, pulls the cargo thing closed. Pete Dunne's like, whose plane is this? And all you see is Triple H walking towards his jet, getting in to his jet. And all you hear is Matt Riddle say, we're going to Portland! Oh my God, that was so funny. Just that's so a Matt Riddle thing to do. Back from break, we see an intense Tommaso Ciampa backstage as he talks about his last year, which they did this where he's watching the WWE's PC video of him. Like they did a PC thing of what happened when Tommaso Ciampa and him having to give it up, and him going to this auditorium where they always have these team meetings. When somebody gets called up, they're usually in this conference room, and they get told that they're going up from there. So, he's talking about how last year he gave up his life. He had to give up the NXT Championship, and not wondering if he was ever going to get back to that. And he's going out there this Sunday to take back, and it's a great fucking promo. Tommaso Ciampa like a year ago, can you think about this? A year ago, Tommaso Ciampa was the most hated man in NXT. This dude, a year before that, in 2018, for about a month, cost Johnny Gargano his position in NXT. And people wanted Johnny Gargano to kill this man. And here we are in 2019, and he feels as human as can be. As relatable as can be, as likable as can be. Tommaso Ciampa is absolutely fantastic at what he does. He can be the most vile, vicious piece of shit out there, where he could be the most humanized, like, underdog, somebody you want to root for, and it's just fantastic. So if this promo is on YouTube, go check this out. This guy, you can tell this was not scripted. This shit was speaking from the heart. Tommaso Ciampa wants to go back out there, give us a damn good performance against Adam Cole at TakeOver Portland, and wants to win the NXT Championship. Then we get to our main event, Adam Cole versus Kushida. This makes me sad, what they've done with Kushida. It is quite clear from the start of this match to the end of this match that Kushida was only brought to WWE and NXT because they did not want him on the market anywhere. They had no plans for this guy. They had nothing for this guy. He goes out there and gives you a hell of a match against Adam Cole, losing to the last shot, of course. But Kushida is one of those guys that they have no direction to. This guy came in, and all they were doing with him for months was having him beat guys, having people come from NXT UK, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, coming from all these portions of WWE to take on Kushida, have great matches with Kushida, but falling short. And then it looked like they had a good program going with him and Imperium, where it felt like they were going to go with War Games, was going to be Imperium versus Kushida and three guys like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and probably Dijakovic. Unfortunately, that did not happen because during his match with Walter, he broke his wrist. Or he fractured it. Big difference. But this guy they haven't done anything with Kushida, and it sucks. This guy, multiple time tag team champion, multiple time tag junior heavyweight champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, best of the Super Junior winner, I believe multiple times, probably a tag league winner once or twice. And this guy comes into NXT with so much hype, and they have done nothing with this guy. Has he even had a takeover match? Probably not. And he's nowhere close to the North American or NXT Championship title picture. Even if he would have beat Adam Cole, it wouldn't have felt like it's justified. It's just a damn shame. And then, they brought Alex Shelley in for one match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and he's a free agent. He can go wherever he wants, just like Jeff Cobb is, who came into AEW this week. It would have been great for them to sign Alex Shelley to a full-time NXT contract and reunite the Time Splitters, because NXT needs tag teams. And it would give Kushida something to do, and you would have something. You could have had them win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, had them go to face the Undisputed Era at Portland, and give us a rematch from a couple years ago in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Red Dragon versus the Time Splitters. It would have been fantastic. But Kushida just is one of those guys that was brought into NXT with zero plan for him. The guy's spinning his wheels. He's doing nothing. And it's a damn shame. I would love to see Kushida battling Keith Lee or others for the North American Championship. Maybe sometime winning the NXT Championship. Maybe even going for the Cruiserweight Championship. I would love to see Jordan Devlin versus Kushida for that title, or Leo Rush versus Kushida for that title. That's the thing about Kushida. He is one of the guys that they could do and have him go from division to division to division. But it just seems like they brought this guy in because he wanted to go away from New Japan, because he wanted to explore wrestling other places, and they got him and brought him into NXT so he would not possibly go to AEW, even though I don't think that was ever something that Kushida was going to do. I think his plan was always to go to WWE, but it feels like they signed him up just to make sure that this guy was in WWE and have nothing for him, and it's a damn shame. Kushida lost to Adam Cole. Hell of a match. Go check it out. It's another one of those things that you need to check out. This was a good episode of NXT, and I'm going to say it now, AEW was a much better show. It was more well-paced, a lot more substance to it. There was some good here. There wasn't anything bad. That's the thing. NXT doesn't usually have anything bad. They have great, good, and okay. They never go below that, in my opinion. It's just, there was a lot more okay than good and great. After the match, Cole takes his title, and we see what a replays. Cole has his arm raised and posted with the NXT title as Mario marks the 256 title reign. The music interrupts, and out comes Tommaso Ciampa. Cole stares Ciampa down from the ring as he slowly marches down the ramp. Ciampa takes his time, but finally enters the ring as Cole looks on. The music stops, and some fans are chanting for Cole. Fans are chanting Psycho Killer, louder for Ciampa. Ciampa circles Cole and stares at the title on his shoulder. They face off in the middle of the ring with Cole holding the title next to their heads. Ciampa says he will take his life back at Takeover Portland on Sunday. Cole says that will happen over his dead body. And that is how the show goes off the air, with the champion facing off and the champion and challenger facing off in the middle of the ring. 256 days. See, I don't know if they're going to... Okay. So, we're going to have a little predictions here in a second. I don't have an overlay done up or anything, so we're not going to worry about that. Takeover Portland is coming this Sunday. And the fact that Adam Cole has been champion for 256 days. I believe, isn't Finn Balor 298 days or something like that? So I don't know, but I think they might actually want to have Adam Cole break Finn Balor's record. I could be totally wrong, but here's the thing. Let's see. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox. Street fight, right? It's a street fight, right? That match is going to be brutal. I hope to see some blood in there, whether it's from the knee brace or whatever they have to do. I want to see somebody get fucking blood on them. If Candice LeRae could bust her damn nose on Wednesday, I want to see some blood. I want to see some blood. I'm going with Dakota Kai. Tegan Nox beat her last time. I think this year's going all the way to Tampa. Maybe we could have a cage match. Maybe we could have something for them. But I'm going with Dakota Kai. Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Finn Balor, I think, is someone they want to have a little bit more push into. Johnny Gargano has been in multiple takeovers. This is actually his first takeover since missing Takeover War Games. I am going with Finn Balor. I think they need to keep the wins going on his end, and Johnny Gargano won't suffer from a loss. NXT Tag Team Championships, the Cruiserweights versus the Undisputed Era. I don't think you're going to have the Cruiserweights win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic without winning the Tag Team title, so I'm going with them. No doubt about it. Dijakovic versus Keith Lee. I'm going with Keith Lee. There's no reason to take the title off him right now. This has got to be it. You cannot continue to have Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic go out there and kill each other for our enjoyment. I think it's time to end it, nip it in the butt, whatever. Keith Lee, Dijakovic, Keith Lee wins. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I see two ways this goes. Either Rhea Ripley wins clean, or Charlotte Flair causes a double disqualification. And that leads to WrestleMania triple threat match. Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. Locking that in. I'm going a double one on this one. Either Rhea Ripley wins and she moves on to Tampa, because yes, Tampa's going to happen and she's going to defend the title at Tampa. Or she's going to defend the title at Tampa, but Bianca Belair will not be the one she defends it against. It might be Candice LeRae, which that would be a fun one. And we have those two. We have Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa. The fact that it's 257 days, 258 days now, or 59 days, 259 days now. Oh, I'm sorry, no, 56. Yeah, 58 days. 258 days from when this is going to be up. Adam Cole is closer to breaking the record than anybody else. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he'll break the record before WrestleMania if I am correct. So I am going to have to say Adam Cole wins at Portland and holds it to Tampa. Adam Cole is winning at Portland due to the Undisputed Era. And then somehow, I don't think we're going to have a one-on-one match in Tampa. I think it's going to be a multi-person match. Cole, Ciampa, Gargano, and Finn Balor in a fatal four-way, and that person is going to win and be the the NXT champion. So I think that Cole's going to win it. If he breaks the record going into Tampa, and he has the record going into Tampa, he loses it at Tampa, because if he breaks the record going into Tampa, there's no reason for him to keep the championship anymore. But if they want to have Adam Cole break the if Adam Cole wins on Sunday, then no doubt in my mind he's breaking Finn Balor's record and is going to be the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. I believe we're 49 days away from Takeover from WrestleMania, which means we'd be 40. It was like 50. It's like 40 some days, or 50 or some days from WrestleMania, and I think he needs like 44 days or something to break Finn Balor, like 43 or 44 days, or 40 some days to beat Finn Balor's record. So if he wins on Sunday, it's no doubt in my mind Adam Cole's going to Tampa, and he's going to lose it then. But that is your NXT review for February 12th, 2019. I'm sorry, 2020. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Also, we have our Takeover Portland predictions on here. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The Clowns Club. Find me at twitch.tv/TheClowns And I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live on Fox. Until then, my name is The Fox, and I'll see you guys later.